Welcome, everyone. Welcome into Purple LunaRose Tarot and Astrology. Tonight, we're going to be looking at the Twin Flame Current Energy Update for the month of July 2023. So, I'm really excited to get started with this particular energy update. We do these monthly, guys, and I've been running a little late the last few months, but July's energy is so exciting that I was just ready to go ahead and get it out there. There are some very hot dates or cosmic influence dates that I want to mention. We've been talking about them the last few weeks because they do tend to be towards the beginning of July. So I'm going to tap into a little bit of that energy, talk about those cosmic influences a little bit before we jump to the Twin Flame Current Energy Update for July. Guys, I will be offering free and paid readings at the end, and that information is going to be in the description box of this video and also scrolling across your screen. All right, I see everyone coming in so quickly. Don't forget, guys, we are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. So I see Sandra and Diana. I see Miss Tina. I see Miss L. I love you guys. Thank you guys for coming in. All right, so let's get to it. Several dates are important, and the first one is going to be the Capricorn full moon coming in on the 3rd of July. This Capricorn full moon has been very challenging for me personally. I have felt this energy already. And I do feel like this energy is helping us ascend a current mountain. So, whatever mountain we are currently climbing, this particular Capricorn full moon is going to help us ascend that mountain and actually reach the top. Now, how that happens, I'm not really sure. I know for me, it's been very, very challenging. It seems like the things I've delayed on, I'm definitely causing like the backlash from that while I'm getting this assistance, getting pushed up this mountain. So, yeah, this Capricorn full moon is very, very challenging, but definitely will bring some big rewards. And that's going to be on July 3rd, guys. We do also have the 777 portal. I do want to touch on that a little bit. We've talked about it a whole lot this week. This portal, especially if you're on the twin flame journey with me, is going to be very important to you. It is going to assist you in your ascension process, and it's going to help you. What's going to help you shine your light a little more. This particular portal is definitely going to help you see more heightened intuition, maybe even awaken some gifts that you didn't even know you had yet. And that's what this particular 777 portal is doing to a heightened extreme, because we always have the 7-7 portal every year, guys. But this particular portal, remember, we're adding the 2, the 0, and the 2 and the 3 from 2023. That also makes a 7. So now we have a 777 portal. And again, it just means that everything is bigger. And then we have the Capricorn full moon right on top of this portal. And again, Capricorn full moon, well, any full moon really, it's going to illuminate and make everything again bigger. So yes, very important portal for those of us that are on this twin journey, right? This is definitely the time to trust your gut. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but I feel like we're questioning it when it's time to trust our gut. And I feel like we are definitely being pushed to do so, whether we're questioning it or not. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that in a moment. I do want to mention the July 17th North Node. The nodes are shifting. It's really not just the North Node. It's the North Node and the South Node. And this is going to be really important. The nodes shift about every 12 years, guys. The nodes tell us where we're going and where we came from, right? And so on the 17th, when the nodes shift, they're going to be moving. The North Node is going to be moving into Aries, and this is going to be at 29 degrees. And the South Node is going to be moving into Libra. Guys, 29 degrees is faded and dusted energy. So remember, these are the nodes, and the nodes tell us where we're headed, where we came from. And for them to fall in this destined and faded energy alignment here, I feel like it's this particular day is going to be really important for us, again, for those of us that are on the twin journey. There's also going to be a grand cardinal square. I've actually heard it called a grand cardinal square and a grand cardinal trine. I guess it just depends on how you look at it. But this square is going to be with Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn, and then square to the Cancer new moon. Remember, Aries is the warrior energy. It's the stand up and fight for yourself energy. And it's not just, I don't know, it's a fight with fury. You know what I mean? It's the flame, it's fire, it's Aries. And Libra is diplomatic energy, right? Libra is about balancing those scales and having peace and harmony. And I know this is just going to sound right off the wall for you guys, but hey, you're following me here at PLR and we go against the grain, right? But, when we have these spiritual awakenings, we definitely are seen as these type of people that, I've been called all kinds of spiritual, I've been called Zen, I've been called all these different types of words. And, it's this impression that these people get that we're having this spiritual awakening. And we are just turning into these soft, mushy, take it all teddy bears, right? So I'm just saying this because this is important as this North Node moves into Aries and the South Node into Libra. That diplomatic, that we're going to take it energy and we're just going to turn the other cheek energy. I know we're spiritual. I know we're enlightened. I know we're here to love unconditionally, but we're done taking it, guys. We are done taking it. And now we're going to go get it. That is going to be North Node in Aries. So very, very important. Guys, I did add a new listing in the Etsy shop talking about the North Node in Aries and comparing it to your North Node in your birth chart. Again, if you guys haven't checked that reading out, you're missing out. It is going to be listed in my Etsy shop, and the link is going to be in the description box. All right, so I want to talk about something else that's happening. Hi, Pooja. All right, so all over the world, not just PLR Collective Tribe, okay? All twins all over the world are dropping things. And tell me in the comments if this resonates with you guys. And when I say dropping things, I mean dropping them. These are like long-term relationships. These are marriages. These are long-term jobs, careers. And I mean, it's shockingly dropping it, right? And I do feel, again, this is going to be that Aries North Node. And I feel, again, like some of us are going to feel this energy a little bit sooner than others. So as everyone's feeling it July 17th, it's very possible that you here at PLR are going to feel it a lot sooner. So anything that is taking advantage of your loyalty, anything that's taking advantage of your effort, or anything that's been taking advantage of your kindness, you're going to drop it. That's Aries energy. And so here's what I'm going to say. In my own journey, I've been hearing this over and over and over. Some things I'm not ready to drop. Some things I refuse to drop, right? And so what's going to happen is it's like the things that I refuse to drop are either going to pull me down to that ascension level that particular thing is at, or it's going to align and meet me where I'm at. So here's what's going to happen, guys. The Aries is going to make you fight to make it align with where you're at. It's not going to allow you to go backwards. It's not going to allow you to like backstep or backslide. No tower moments will be allowed. You see what I'm trying to say? So again, Aries moving into the North Node. This is why I've expressed how important this is for months now. I'm actually really excited for the North Node to be moving into Aries, especially with all the Aries that's in my chart, especially with us getting all these, we're at the brink of all these monetizations for PLR. I mean, I just think it's amazing energy, really exciting energy. So I just want to say for all of you out there that are, I don't know, have really been in your nice Zen spiritual turn your cheek mode, it's definitely going to be time to pick it up and step it up a little bit. The fire energy is just blazing. All right. I also want to say really quickly, the Aries energy. I heard, this is the greatest explanation. So I heard my own reader say today, the Aries is the bull. You know how you see the Aries symbol? It's the bull. It says, if you mess with the bull, you get the horns. That's the Aries energy that we move into July 17th, guys. I also want you to pay attention to the Capricorn full moon, because the Capricorn full moon is actually going to show you what's blocking you, what's going to be in your way. And again, you'll drop it quickly, whatever it is. It's because you have to align. So you'll either drop it or it will align with you, again, very quickly. All right. I think that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. I feel like this summer is going to be one of those summers that we kind of just remember forever and ever. You know what I'm saying? It's like when the shift happened or something like that. This is going to be this summer. All right, guys. So let's get to it. Hi, Eliana. Hi, Tim. All right, so I've pulled out Denise Lynn, Sacred Traveler. I'm not really doing anything different with the spread, guys. We're going to look at masculine energy and feminine energy. I will look at the bridging energy. Of course, we'll do head, heart, and higher self space. We'll do messages from your person. And then we'll close it out with some guidance. Sandra, I just burnt my last Palo Santo cone. I love the cones. Look at that, 11 people on YouTube. Have you guys been seeing the 1111 or the 777 or the 333? Yes, Miss Al, thank you. Please tap the like button. All right, guys, let's start. Masculine energy first, please. And I will say this, it's high vibrational energy. It's like anything that tried to pull me down, this energy just picked me back up. So it's very interesting. All right, we have begin now. Take your first step. You have view from above. Get the bigger picture. And then bridging energy. It didn't want to come out. How interesting. And the card is a little bent. That's from my travels. Sorry. But first light. I just want to say it's not a coincidence. There's a meaning that the card is bent and it's struggling to stand up. Guys, have you been feeling like everything's being thrown at you, like one after another? When we ascend and we have these big ascension lifts, I definitely can sense. I heard somebody explain it this way. You are the light, and as your light ascends, it gets bigger. And just like there is light, there is darkness. And the darkness doesn't want the light, right? It wants the darkness. So it's like as you ascend, as your light shines, as it grows, you're going to get more things that come at you. But the thing is, you've awakened, you're woke, right? You have the knowledge, the information. So you know what to do to prepare yourself, protect yourself, and make the plans needed to, do the mission that your soul is here to do. So I do feel like, it's not a coincidence either that we have begin now, first light. It's a new cycle. The new cycle is here. I've been talking about it all week. This is going to be the month, guys. So it is going to be the 7-year cycle is done. And I don't think it's a coincidence that we're at the 777 portal, right? There's no such thing as coincidence, guys. Everything aligns the way it's supposed to. And you can always look back. Like you can look back in your past and see things and be like, oh, if that thing didn't happen, then that other thing wouldn't have happened, right? But it did happen. And so you were able to make whatever it is happen now. So it's like everything has purpose. Everything has reason. First light, beginning a new cycle is big confirmation to me because remember, this is the bridging energy. So this is the spiritual lesson that both masculine and feminine is learning right now. And beginning a new cycle is just very much telling me that we learned in a very harsh way that we could not take the old karma into the new cycle. I also made a comment that may have been too assuming of me recently. I made the comment that if you were on this journey with me, then we timeline jumped. And that I felt when that Schumann resonance took that big peak a few weeks back, that we had come to like the last stop. It was like the train pulling into the last stop and we were getting off the train. And I didn't think there'd be any more timeline jumping after that. And I still stick to that. But I asked you to believe that your counterpart came with you. And I assumed that everyone's counterpart came with them in this last timeline jumping, right? I have recently learned that is incorrect. And I've learned that by doing some of your readings in the Etsy shop. I've been working on them. And I noticed that there are a few of you that the answer was not the same. For many of you guys, when you were wondering, like, did my person end up in the same place I'm at? We talked about the Mandela effects. That's one of the easiest ways to know, right? And I told you that you will notice the Mandela effect start to slow down now, because we are, again, where we are. We've landed, we've reached our destination. We've learned all these spiritual lessons as we were doing all this traveling. And it's like now we have to start implementing those spiritual lessons, right? So it is a new cycle. We have learned to leave the old karma behind us. Old karma is things like anything that was toxic, anything that was unhealthy, anything that was in our way. For some of us, there was relationships, people that used and abused us. For some of us, it was jobs, again, used and abused us, right? And for some of us, it was like things like drinking and anything that we would try to do so that we wouldn't have to face our spiritual awakening, so that we wouldn't have to face our dark night of the soul. And so we wouldn't have to face the reality that we were timeline jumping because we had somewhere to be and something to do, right? So I definitely feel like that's the karmic lessons that were the last 7 years, and that's what we were leaving behind. All right, narrow pathway is on the bottom, and it says tread thoughtfully. I do feel, see how the feminine has get the big picture? I do feel like we remember when we started this journey and we thought it was about this person that we had met and all this weird stuff had happened when we met this person. And it's like now we've gotten so far from that, right? Like now we realize, oh, it's me. I'm the one, and I have something to do. All right, let's do head, heart, and higher self space. And I am going to use the Heal Yourself reading cards. It was the heart. It was the heart Mandela effect. I was telling everyone to ask your counterpart where their heart was. If you were with me and we jumped the same timelines, our heart were slightly to the left. And now they say our hearts are in the center. And it is, honestly, whenever you timeline jump, wherever you land, you take on that reality. So, yeah, it's really interesting. I remember I was calling when I realized that we had got to where we were going. I was texting and calling everyone and asking you where your heart was. But yes, I just assumed that since we all had the same, idea or the same feeling or intuition, even if we knew that it was in the center now, we had this feeling like it used to be to the left, right? Some of us just answered me when I asked, is it in the center or to the left? Some of you just answered, it's not in the center. Or you said, I don't know, but I know it's not in the center. You know what I mean? Because we had just got here and it was weird because, it wasn't in the center. But yeah, that was the Mandela effect that I used. There were several different ones that you guys mentioned to me. But yeah, I just recently learned that it is possible that some of us have ascended to a point where the alignment is so mismatched that I don't feel that the counterpart came with you. I don't feel that they traveled to their final destination, right? And I really honestly, because again, guys, I'd love to come out here and be like, I know everything about twin flames. And I can tell you exactly what to do. I wish I could do that, but I'm on this journey too. And I'm having this journey, PLR, this channel, everything I do is my journey. So I'm learning right along with you. And it is slightly concerning. And I'm not really sure what it means or how the alignment process will continue from here on out. But I do know that this is once in a lifetime energy. Pluto is affecting us in all of this situation. And Pluto, I've been talking about since last year, honestly, because I just waited and was so excited for it to be here. And now I'm so frustrated with Pluto. But in the end, it's always for our greater good. All right, let's look head, heart, higher self, and let's start with masculine. So we have temptation coming out for headspace. We have sexuality coming out in the heart space. And we have self-sabotage coming out for higher self. All right, I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot. So masculine has begin now, take your first step. Temptation. I know some of you want to think that it's going to have something to do with the sexuality card, but it actually doesn't. Temptation is going to be Pluto going retrograde into Capricorn. So it's like in their headspace, they don't understand why they just want to go back. So most likely this is what's happened. Ready? Masculine energy has done something to make like this grand move or this like grand gesture. It's something. It's like they're trying to... I don't know. I just heard like cause a glitch in the matrix. You know what I mean? It's like something like that. And so what's happened is as Pluto goes back retrograde, the masculines that have ascended and timeline jumped with the PLR collective tribe, like with us, I feel like they could feel tempted to go back like how it used to be, right? And I've been feeling that let's go back to how it used to be with the tempted card for quite some time. It used to be that you were tempted to do something you wouldn't normally do, but now it's not about that. Now it's about doing something you would normally do because that's what you were used to. The sexuality card in the heart space. So this is about them either being confident in their own sexuality. This could be about the confidence in their partner that they've chosen. And I feel like that card has actually came up several times for masculine energy. So it could be like the same situation there, like they're still dealing with that situation. And then self-sabotage is here. The number 2 is sticking out to me and my left ear just started ringing. But self-sabotage is just that. It's like witch wolf. So the masculine is definitely at this energy where it's like, because they have this issue with their own sexuality, they're definitely considering, do I go back to when things were what I know? It's not necessarily that things are easier or better back there, but it's just what they know. Now we're kind of all in this new place. Now we're kind of all in this little bit, and I'm not trying to like scare anyone. I really don't want to be like the doomsday type of person, but because all these changes have happened, and let's just use like the world news, for example, okay? Because of all the things that you see on the news, right? All the different things. I mean, I don't even want to bring certain things up, but like, I mean, there was like aliens, were there like aliens they were shooting down? I mean, like there was like all kinds of different, the solar flares and the Schumann resonance by itself. But I'm just saying, like, there's so much stuff that's been happening that you could just see on your own TV that causes this type of like fear and anxiety and like, oh, I don't want to deal with this new stuff. What is this new stuff, right? Like, let's go back to the old way. I mean, yes, we were all poor and suffering and miserable, but hey, we knew how to deal with that, right? Like, it's that type of energy. And now because we're moving more into service and more into this time of like, it's the age of Aquarius. So it's like more for the people, more for service, more for humanity. We're having to do more things that like we've never had to do before. And some of us are a little scared. And some of us are like, I don't know if I want to go out to the world and tell them my personal private stories. You know what I mean? So it's definitely that type of energy with self-sabotage. Are you going to feed the good wolf or the bad wolf? All right, let's pull a little tarot. So we have Page of Pentacles coming out. I feel like that's just a big confirmation. Remember, pages are students. They're not at their fullest potential, and they're definitely like a little fearful. And we have Eight of Pentacles coming out. So Eight of Pentacles is what they're focused on, what they're dedicated to. So there's definitely a fear to start over. This could have something to do with a job. Eight of Pentacles is work. And so for some masculines, there could be this energy of, let me go back to what I know I used to do, because that's what's easier. Instead of maybe starting something new where they're a student, or they may not know everything and they may have to actually learn something new. All right, let's look at sexuality. Why is sexuality in the heart space? This could be about like
we had a current energy update that I did recently where this card came up in the same position. And I definitely felt like, I think actually it may have came up in higher self. And I did feel like it was the higher self questioning the masculine about like the choices they've made in relationships. But I also know that collectively, the masculine energy here at PLR has this type of energy where it's like um, I don't know how to say it. The masculine energy tends to give their cup of love to a lot of people, and they're doing this because they're trying to find someone to fill their cup, right? They're looking for love, they're wounded, and I know we want to say, oh, they're just, whatevers, and they're just this and they're just that, and we want to say, call them ugly names and whatnot, but in the end they're just wounded and they just need healed, just like the feminine energy. So that could be like what's happening or being healed in the heart space, but I'm kind of getting like they're questioning again, like, did I receive more love when I was out here sharing my cup of love with everyone? Or do I receive more love being here now, trying to like have this spiritual awakening and, pretty much on their own? I don't feel like this divine masculine has a lot of support in their immediate environment. All right, so number 4, sexuality. We have 6 of Swords and Knight of Cups. Big confirmation from Spirit. Okay, so 6 of Swords is the card that says you're being guided. Knight of Cups, remember guys, they're not going to be upside down. I'm not going to like flip them. It's just the energy of the card. But it is a reversal type of energy. So Knight of Cups is a little bit of a playboy type of energy. It says that, again, this person goes around and they're courageous and they deliver their cup of love to all these people, right? It's like, I give my cup to you and my cup to you and my cup to you too. You know what I mean? And that's definitely kind of been the collective masculine energy. Again, doing this because they're trying to find love. And they want someone to fill that cup. Of course, they want to give their cup of love to someone, but they want someone to give it back. And what happens is they only find takers, people that take the cup and they don't refill it. So what happens is their cup is depleted and, so on and so forth. But I do feel like they're being guided to stop that action. All right, let's look at self-sabotage. Self-sabotage. So again, we have 2 wolves within us. Which wolf are you going to feed? All right, so we have the King of Wands coming out. King of Wands is about being confident and understanding what you're capable of. And the Hermit, this is all about implementing the spiritual lessons that you learned as you went through a Dark Night of the Soul. Guys, Dark Night of the Soul, we talk about it in such a way, and we say what we call it, Dark Night of the Soul. You know what I mean? It's actually not something that's evil or black or dark or whatever. I mean, I guess we can say shadows, and what it is where we just go within and pull out the things that we need to heal within ourselves so that we can become better human beings. You know what I mean? That's it. That's Dark Night of the Soul. And we run from it. We were like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to know that I'm codependent. I don't want to know that I have these narcissistic traits. I don't want to know that I may do this or I may do that. I mean, come on, guys. We have to know. That's how you fix it. If you just ignore the problem and you tell yourself you don't have a problem, well, then you don't heal much of anything, right? All right, let's go over to the feminine side and let's look at the feminine energy. So I think the only major arcana was the Hermit. So I'm just saying masculine could definitely be dealing with some Dark Night of the Soul energy. It's going to be energy that they try to sweep away. And because we are at this new cycle and we can't take the old karma with us, it's like they have to complete this karma before they can move forward. They have to complete this lesson before they can move forward. All right, let's see what the feminine energy is doing. So we have faith coming out. The word faith itself has been just flashing to me like a neon sign. It's almost like spirits asking me, do I have faith? I mean, like in my face questioning me, am I still here? Do I still plan on doing this journey? And it's really interesting, like how much in my face. But the word faith is strong, but it's making me, I feel like spirit is putting it in my face so much that it's making my faith grow. Does that make sense? Because I'm seeing the word faith, because I'm seeing the signs that spirit's putting in my face where he's questioning me, do I really have this faith? And do I really believe that I'm on this journey and that I can bring in the life that I'm supposed to live? And I'm telling you, it's just been everywhere, like so much. You know how when you like wake up and it's like something on your phone, and then you drive by and a bus goes by and the same thing is on the side of the bus, or on a commercial on the TV, or you get in your car and you hear a YouTube commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's things like that. It's definitely in my face. So I do feel like we could be questioning. And I said that, like, we're kind of asking ourselves, am I on this journey? Is this even happening? Did I make all of this up? You know what I mean? Here's what I'm going to say. If you made it up, we all made it up. And if we all made it up, that's a collective, a lot of made up. I'm just saying. All right. We also have 35, the home card coming out. That is so interesting that that's higher self. Okay, in the heart space, the beauty card comes out. There's something about divine timing and direction here with the beauty card. You're learning why certain things take so much time. You're also learning why it's important that you focus on the direction of your purpose. That was just kind of what I just heard. So I just tried to spit it out how I heard it. The home card in the higher self for the feminine. So that's a really specific card too. This card says that you may be moving your furniture around in your home. Maybe you're changing out curtains, furniture, maybe color schemes, maybe patterns, something like this. It's like you're trying to change things. Maybe you're actually moving pictures around in picture frames, but it's like you're doing this because you're trying to recreate a time when you were happy. And that's what you're trying to do. And I feel like it's really interesting because I don't really have like a set base location where I'm going to be moving my furniture around, but it's like in my mind. I've just kind of been moving everything around and trying to find like that comfort zone. And it's definitely going to be, again, because our train has arrived and we're definitely in a new location, like a new world, I guess people say. And it's like, it's time for us to start doing the things we've been learning this whole time. All right, so I'm going to use the magic of the unicorn for the feminine side. Hi, Carol. All right, so feminine 22, 17, and 35. Let's see why half faith is in the headspace. So we have the Fool card. You're having to take a leap of faith. Of course, we all know that. We're definitely having to do something completely different we've never done before. We've never been on this timeline, right? And we have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles could say that you could feel like resources are low. You're being stretched in too many directions. Definitely Two of Pentacles. Or you're having a hard time. I just heard it. Juggling. That's so me. I was just telling someone the other day, I was like, I run PLR and I don't think people understand, but it's just me here. I'm not complaining by no means because I'm so very grateful for my journey and to have this ability to become my own resource, of course, right? But I do the job of 10 people. I don't know if you guys have ever started your own business before, but I do the job of 10 people. And I definitely feel like sometimes I'm juggling a lot of things, right? I'm juggling and it's like I feel like I may lose, I may drop the ball. I may mess something up. So I do feel like there's this energy of like, have faith. Things are going to be okay. Spirit has your back. You're taking this leap of faith, but you're not taking it alone, right? All right, let's look at the beauty card in the heart space. Right away, I got divine timing and focus on direction. Very important to focus on direction. I'm wondering if we're missing something on divine timing because we're not focused on the direction. So the Empress comes out. This is telling me it's going to have something to do with the astrology, and Ace of Swords. I heard that's today. I don't know what that means. What is today? It's the 30th. There's nothing today. I'm not sure what the that's today means. The Empress is going to be divine feminine energy, definitely. Abundance. Oh, you can have it today. That's what it is. You can have it today. I don't know about you guys, but I just had a big aha moment. All right, let's pull out for the home card. 10 of Wands. Those are the stress, the heavy burdens on your shoulders. And we have 6 of Swords. You're being guided. You're being guided on to how to drop. I talked about it, right? I talked about it when I talked about July's astrology at the beginning of the video. How to drop these burdens. We're all being shown. So I talked about how collectively the masculine energy is doing this, but I do feel like it's on the brink for the feminine energy. Whatever is not serving you, whatever is taking from you, whatever is not aligned to you, it's like you're going to drop it. And for some of you, this is going to be like long-term things, long-term relationships. You're just done dealing with it. And you're going to be that person that kept turning the cheek. You see what I'm trying to say? It's like you run out of cheeks. That's what's happening. 6 of Wands is on the bottom. It says you're victorious. It's that Aries energy. We don't fail. It's not an option. All right, so I'm going to pull some messages from your person. I went to reach for them out of the box and I accidentally got a magical times. And wouldn't you know, it's the rebirth card. So strong Scorpio energy. It says, no matter what happens, you can find new wings, rise from the past, accept the positive change that is coming. That's just perfect, right? All right, so let's do the messages. I am going to go back to the OGs, the originals. Guys, these messages are from my own twin flame journey. These messages are from your twin flame journey. Messages that I received while doing your private readings in the Etsy shop. Guys, if you have not checked out the Etsy shop, I do offer this reading. This reading comes with 2 questions you're allowed to ask. I do record the reading, post it on my YouTube channel privately, and send you a private link. Again, the link for that is going to be in the description box of this video. All right, so I'm going to start 3 from divine masculine to divine feminine. It's easier for me to run. So what did I say? The temptation card was there. So I just want to say, for those of you that this message resonates with you, it pulled at your heartstrings, you're like, oh my gosh, that's my story. Again, it's going to be because we're on the same journey. And what I'm going to say is, it's not a coincidence that I pulled out the rebirth card and I said Scorpio. That's Pluto, the death and rebirth planet, okay? And Pluto did just go back. And I keep saying that we're all kind of backsliding a little bit. We're all kind of going backwards and saying, I'm not sure. We got that 3-month period, the sneak peek. And we're like, we manifested, we did all kinds of things in this 3 months. And now it's kind of like things have slowed down, things have stopped, because remember, retrograde, an opportunity to revisit that planet's energy. So you're going to go ask yourself, do I really want to end the way things were and start something new? I was telling a friend of mine today, I don't know about you guys, but it's not even a question. I don't need the 6-month retrograde to know that I want those 3 months back, and I want it back like right now. All right, I can't fake it anymore also comes out, and I'm having a hard time letting go. This did try to come out in reverse, so I'm just saying it may be a little bit easier from some masculine energies than it has been before. I'm sorry, guys. My fan blew out my candles, but it gets so hot in here. I'd rather have the fan. I still have my PLR candle over there going, though. I think you guys can see it a little bit over there. All right, let's do 3 from feminine to masculine. The intense energy in our connection scares me sometimes. This is really true. How many of you guys are struggling to go to bed? Okay, so you're getting ready to lay down, you're tired, you're in your pajamas, you've done your nightly rituals, you've turned your lights out, and you're crawling in bed, and now all of a sudden ears are ringing, hair's on fire, everything's tingling, and you're up. You're up because you know like something is happening and there's something you're supposed to be doing. The funny thing is, when this is happening to me this last week, I didn't know. I knew what was happening. I knew that it wasn't my energy, but I didn't know what I was supposed to do with the energy. So I just got up and worked. I made thumbnails. I worked on Twitch. I added some end screens to the YouTube videos that I always forget. Miss L says exhausted. Hi, Jenna. But yeah, so it's definitely, I don't think it's scary to me anymore. I feel like it's almost normal now. Again, if I'm talking to someone who's not on the twin journey, they're like, oh my gosh, there's nothing normal about that. But at this point, it kind of is. We're even got to the point where we understand that it's not even our energy. And the same is going to go for the masculine. When the feminine is like overly emotional, I just want you guys to know that the masculine can feel that energy too. But they're definitely starting to understand that that's not their energy either. But it can be very intense. And I do feel, again, it's because we had this massive ascension lift. So if your counterpart is here in this timeline with you, then it's like the energy has become magnified. All right, let's do the next one. I never expected any of this to happen. I've always said there's no guilty parties in your masculine and feminine energies. And I know, hi, Renee, I know that sometimes that can seem like hard to believe or hard to understand. For the feminines, there's usually third party involvement. So they're like, oh, I'm guilty just from association, right? Or I'm the third person, whatever. So it's like that type of energy. So there's guilt. And then for the masculine, it's like plotted or planned or like, you know, the player type of energy. And again, that's not the case either. So it's like both energies. Understand that when you meet your twin, especially if it's a 3D counterpart, in the 3D, like here, you're standing here, you can look, touch, talk to them. It's like when you do this, it's your soul. Remember, we're one soul. So, and it's a simultaneous incarnation. There's no ripped soul. I'm so sick of like hearing about these half souls, ripped souls, and like half your soul's in this body, half your soul's in that body. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. I know I say some crazy stuff on this channel, but I mean, come on. It's one soul, okay? It's not that hard to comprehend like a simultaneous incarnation. It just means you have two souls, it's the same one, it's just here at the same time, right? So I'm just saying, like, when this happens, it's because the soul is asking you to awaken. That's why you're meeting your twin. That's why the counterpart comes in and says, hey, let's go have a spiritual awakening because this karmic stuff sucks, right? And that's usually what happens. Usually when you meet your twin, you're in a really like stuck, stagnant type of situation. Normally we're in relationships with karmic people and we clearly are taking too long to learn the lesson, right? It's that type of energy. So there's no guilty parties. No one's ever planned this and go, oh my gosh, I want all this stuff to happen to me and them and for this to continue on forever and we can't get away from it. I mean, come on, that's not something that's like plotted or planned, right? This is too hard. Why can't I cut you off? Some of you feminine energies could be trying to do cord cutting. I talk about it all the time here, but some of you have recently messaged me and asked me for information on cord cutting, which I found super interesting because I feel like I talk about it all the time and I say, please don't try it. Guys, I've tried things on this journey and I tell you my experience. That's the whole point, right? And what happened to me, and I tried it on more than one occasion. It's not like I just went to one person and said, hey, can you try to cut this cord? I tried to do this for almost 2 years. And all it did was throw me into this massive depressive state because each time it didn't work. There were times that I actually spent like money, like fundulation that I didn't have. You know what I'm saying? So please don't do this. If spirit, if you can't ask God, you know what I'm saying? If God can't give it to you, like it's just not gonna happen. It's not meant to be. So please, like, don't spend your money on these people that tell you these stories about these things that they can create and do. And I mean, I'm not telling you not to because I want you to spend my money here or I mean, it's nothing like that. I'm just telling you this because I know it doesn't work. And I know what that feeling is after when you wake up the next day and you realize that that person had just spewed all that BS into your ear and you believed it, thinking you were going to be able to walk away from this. Guys, if we could walk away from this, we'd never hear the word twin flames, ever. We'd never hear about it. You'd never hear about a soul connection. You'd never hear about this particular type of spiritual awakening. And that's all it is. It's a type of spiritual awakening. There's all kinds of types of spiritual awakenings we can have, guys, all kinds. But I just will say this: once your spiritual awakening starts, you can't stop it. You can't run from it. You can try to run. And I know that some of us, like, we start our spiritual awakening and then we stop. And then we come back to it and we start it again and then we stop. And I know that some of us do that. But here's what I also know. Every time you think you stopped, you really didn't. All you did was cause a delay. It's going to come back. The spirit will rip that rug right out from under you again, because it is your purpose. And really all the universe is trying to do, all source is trying to do, is align you with where you want to be, with where your soul wants you to be. That's really all that's happening. All right, let's pull some power of love to close it out. And then we'll do some free current energies. I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot to do the free current energy updates, so we can maybe get some signs. So make sure you know your person's sun and, very importantly, their moon sign. We have creativity. You love to devise new ideas, innovations, and forms of illumination. This is what's happening collectively to all of us. We're definitely having to tap into our creativity and devise new ideas, innovations, and forms of illumination, because we're in a completely different timeline, right? It's not anything like what we expected when we first started this particular awakening, right? So loyalty is here. Your reliability demonstrates your loving sense of devotion and consistency of being. Here's what I will say, guys. I don't think that the word loyalty coming up in all of these readings is a coincidence. It is one thing that has helped me throughout my journey. And I'm not going to say about, it's not being, remember, it's about your purpose, not the person. So you're not loyal to the person per se, you're loyal to the purpose. But what that means is that you're loyal to the person too, right? Your reliability demonstrates your loving sense of devotion and consistency of being. All right, last one, please. Detachment. You are releasing old patterns and ideas that no longer serve your highest ideas of love. I just want to say that is like the perfect ending, because that's exactly what's happened. We have detached from our old codependent karmic ways, and we have moved on into a time of service. We're here now. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that reading was helpful. Let me know, guys, in the comments. Let me know if it resonates, if it pulls at those heartstrings. I'm going to clean up really quickly, and we'll jump to those free and paid readings. If anybody does get a paid reading, guys, please let me know. Paid readings, of course, do jump the line. I am offering the Twin Flame Journey, Twin Flame Current Energy for $10 tonight. $10. If you get the private reading in my Etsy shop, it's $19.99. Guys, I do always say I do offer Twin Flame coupons. When I was doing my Dark Night of the Soul, or like when I first started my awakening process, I worked at a gas station making minimum wage on third shift, and I could not afford $20 readings. So I do offer special Twin Flame coupons. So please message me if you need one of those. I do have messages from your person. I believe we're offering those for $5 tonight. And I did go ahead and bring the soulmate. Those, just let me know which one. Great message. All right. Thank you, Tim. I'm so glad. So glad. Pooja says, I'm in. Diana says, lots of info in that reading. I know. And so much of it just comes in, guys. So it's like, I'm going to have to go back and watch it. I couldn't even tell you what happened on the masculine side. I have no idea. But see, again, that's how I know it's about the purpose and not the person, because otherwise I would remember, right? And it's like, I don't really need to know. Renee on Facebook has made a payment for paid reading. Okay, let me check. Renee, I was just working on your other reading. Let me see. Just tell me which one, Renee. Let me know. All right, hit a button. Wow, that's interesting though. That's a big delay. All right, I see the free list. My internet is acting wonky, so it's like it's not letting me pull up which one. So Renee, just let me know. All right, I see a free list. Let me grab a pen and paper real quick. All right, so Miss Al, Pooja, Jenna, and Diana. Oh, I'm so excited to read for you, Miss Al. And Jenna and Diana. Yeah, I'm working on yours too. You guys, it was so interesting, the readings that everyone's getting. I'm so excited. Like, I don't know. I can tell like it's a new shift in energy. And Diana, I was gonna say, you and Sandra, it's time for it. Let me know if you want to do. I wanted to do the free, offer you free full reading too, just for always helping me. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's go ahead and start with Miss Al. And we'll do a quick 3-card current energy. I am going to use the Gilded Tarot so we can see. Oh, all finished and sent. She beat us. She beat us, Miss Al. Be patient with me. All right, Renee, are we doing the messages from your person or the full twin flame energy? Oh, you want both? Are we doing both? There's extra. We'll do both. Okay. I got you. I'll pull a few extra messages from your person too. All right, guys. All right, Renee, I'm going to start out with the Sacred Traveler. I was going to say, Renee, I got a message from you right before we started the live. I can't remember what it was. I remember seeing a message. All right, I'm going to start with your masculine energy first. You have grounding and wandering path. Enjoy the journey. Go deep. Explore your roots. This person's like off trying to find themselves type of energy is what I'm picking up. All right, let's look at your energy. We have answering the call and miracles. The time is now. Expect the wanderers to emerge. You're struggling with the expect the wanderers to emerge. Me too. Me too. But it is the word expectations. I've always said it's so interesting, Renee. I've always said like we're not supposed to. Oh, thank you, Sandra. We're not supposed to have expectations in this journey. Okay, we're just not. We're supposed to love unconditionally, and we're supposed to love them without expecting anything in return. Right? Like that's the whole point of this journey. But we are supposed to expect other things in this journey. Like, for example, we're supposed to expect that the universe supports us and has our back. We're here following spirit's will. Okay. So it's like we are supposed to expect that we're highly protected. We are supposed to expect that we're highly gifted. In other words, if you're manifesting something, expect it to come, expect it to be there. So those expectations are going to be a little bit different. And I've definitely been told there's just in the last, I would say, 5 to 7 days, the word expectation is changing for us as twin flames. We're done expecting the person, and now we're expecting the purpose. You see what I'm trying to say? All right. So I feel like you're struggling to see the miracle at the moment, but it's just at this moment. And the trick is going to be answering the call. The trick is going to be following your purpose. All right, let's look at bridging energy. So you have view from above that came out in the collective reading. We have get the big picture. Again, there's something that's happening that's kind of causing like I heard the word obscured. I don't even know what that means. Oh, like something is in your way. It's blocking your vision. It's making the picture blurry. Unknown territory. You're exactly where you need to be. Again, I feel like you may feel like, no, this isn't where I'm supposed to be. He's walking in the snow. So winter time gives me like this energy of less. You got to work harder to get the little things right. In summertime, you work less hard and you get more. In the wintertime, you have to work harder to get a little. It's that type of energy. All right. So I have pulled out the sacred destiny, and this is what we're going to use for head, heart, higher self space. Can I take that card back? That was so weird. Good. Sorry. All right, Renee, head, heart, and higher self space. Let's start with your masculine energy first. This is like awakening, right? Having to go off and find themselves, forgiveness. There could be healing, some sort of like ancestral, generational trauma. This could, of course, have something to do with like childhood wounds and child energy. Miracles is coming out. So yeah, this person is learning to cleanse the heart space, is what I'm hearing. But they're dealing with, again, this is inner child wound. So it's like maybe their parents were in a certain type of abusive type of relationship. It doesn't have to be like maybe I don't know. Maybe they're just yellers and they like to yell a lot, right? And so he's decided that he's gonna not yell anymore. He doesn't want to yell in his life anymore. He doesn't want his kids to yell, and he doesn't want his grandkids to yell. So he's gonna stop the yelling in his life. You see what I'm trying to say? It's that type of energy. All right, let's look over here on your side, answering the call. I do feel like you're in your divine feminine energy, but you're struggling, right? Like I'm struggling to stay in my divine feminine energy. I get to where I'm feeling like I'm supposed to be here, but then I'm scared and I'm fearful, so I want to jump into like fight protect mode, and that is going to have a lot to do with that Aries North node, right? So I do feel like I'm struggling to stay in that nurturing feminine energy. What I'm going to say about that, Renee, is make sure that the environment you're in supports your feminine energy. In other words, if you're in an environment where you feel like you're being used or abused or it's just toxic or unhealthy, well, then you're going to have to fight and protect yourself. So you're not going to be able to feel your divine feminine energy. You see what I mean? I do feel like you're fighting for that energy now, though. So we have the flow card coming out. Again, you could feel like things are not moving in the direction that you wanted them to. We have the gateway card, Renee, the 777 portal. It's going to be big. And I do feel like it's going to be bigger for Divine Feminine, only because Divine Feminine has ascended more, right? Like has went through more of the process. All right, view from above is the bridging energy. You have embracing. I feel like, yes, everyone's going to see that the purpose for this. Most likely, fulfillment is here. Most likely, you tried to do this journey, Renee, in a different way. Probably in a way that most people say, like, either they tell you that, oh, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be, right? And then you try to do it, and it's like, wait a minute, this doesn't work. This isn't the way it's supposed to be because it's not the way it's supposed to be. And so now you're learning like there's a greater purpose than you, or there's a greater purpose than what you wanted, or there's a greater purpose than what they wanted, right? Like this is bigger than all of us. And I feel like when you start to realize that, you embrace that energy, you get the big picture from above, right? Then we're able to remove those obstacles and see things a lot clearer. All right, I'm going to use the let's do, oh, I got the Divine Feminine Oracle. Let's do Divine Feminine Oracle for your side. All right, I have the Goddess of Self-Knowledge. Ooh, Joan of Arc, the Warrior of Light. That's pretty interesting because we have that North Node moving into Aries. And the Red Goddess, Playfulness, is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. That's your higher self trying to teach you. Again, I felt like you're trying to fight for your divine feminine energy. It's like you want her back. You want to be able to be comfortable in that energy. The heart space. There's definitely some strong energy going through in the heart space. I feel like the masculine energy is having to learn to embrace this journey, and the feminine energy is having to learn to fight for this journey. All right, I'm going to pull some messages from your person. The Goddess of Self-Knowledge. I think that's interesting too, because I felt like the masculine was on this journey of having to find himself. And so it's like you're having to find yourself too. How interesting. And the interesting part is they're having to find themselves within their roots, emotions, and feelings. And you're having to find yourself in how much can you fight? How much fight do you have in you? I just want you guys to know it's a lot. You don't know this, but you help me keep going each day. That's going to be him to you, and that's going to be 3D, and it may be even something that he said to you before. My mind replays all our memories. Again, 3D, again, maybe something he said to you before. It's easier for me to run. This came out from Divine Masculine to Divine Feminine in the collective reading that we did earlier. All right, let's do 3 from you to him. Your energy feels forceful right now. How interesting. This could actually be your higher self talking to you. I'm so proud of you, or their higher self talking. It's one higher self. It's talking to you. I'm so proud of you. And I'm starting to see, to understand, but what if it's too late? I think you're both starting to see that this is more of a soul's journey instead of like a human journey. So you're both starting to see like the spiritual possibilities of this journey, but I do feel, because again, we had that 3 month sneak peek where everything kind of went into this flowing motion and then came to this stop, that we're like, oh my gosh, are we going to be able to get that back? Or is this it? I don't know what to say about that. At this part in the journey, we have to see that There's no such thing as this is it. She says no contact, 2 days now. 2 days. Ooh, she said no separation before, but this time I feel completely different. Yep. Yes. All right. So action is here. This is going to be your guidance, Renee. You have the courage to express the unique loving colors of your soul. Respect. You value everyone's unique perspective on the path to love. Even there's karmic energies here. My throat. There goes the throat chakra. Like my body's just trying to spew the karmic energy. I can't even like say the word. My throat just goes shut down. All right. Respect. You value everyone's unique perspective on the path to love. There's karmic energies here. Remember, karmic doesn't have to be a person. It doesn't mean there's another person. I mean, it could be whatever it is. It's dark, and it's negative, and it's a lesson that needs to be learned, right? So respect it. I feel like a lot of times, let's say it is a karmic person, and this person is just, I don't know, volatile, nasty, abusive. And we're like, oh my gosh, this person is such a this or such a that. This person is also making this divine masculine the strongest he can be. So it's like he has to go through this experience and learn this lesson so he can become the strong, wise, powerful masculine energy that he's going to be after this lesson is learned, right? So it's like you have to have respect for all the lessons that are here. Last one is forgiveness, and it says you're now able to activate the power of love in order to release past hurts. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that was helpful. All right, guys, I'm going to clean up and I'll come back and see where we are. I feel like we're stuck and repeating same pattern, and I can't and won't keep repeating these last few months over and over. How interesting. So my question, Renee, the last few months, were they the most challenging for you? And have you been in union with your counterpart this whole time? So I feel like your situation is going to be a little bit opposite of what most of us are used to. So I feel like most of us are used to separation, and you're just now coming into separation, right? So it's a little bit of the opposite. So that means in the last 3 months, you probably experienced again something different than you had been experiencing this whole time in this journey. And most likely it was the signs showing you that it was time. I talked about that like when we came to this, when the train came to the stop, I assumed that if you were here and you, Renee, you're with me, we're on this journey together. And I feel like if we're in this, collective tribe together, then your counterpart, I just again assumed, also came to this timeline. And I told you guys to go ask your counterpart, Mandela effect, where's your heart? And that's how you would know, right? And again, I did that based on my own journey. And again, assuming we all know what that means. And then I quickly learned that no, not all counterparts are here with us in this timeline. I mean, yes, their physical bodies are here. Like, I'm not telling you they just vanish in midair. Of course not. They're still here. But now they're even more misaligned than they were before, right? And the reason is going to be that this is going to be the counterparts that ran. These are going to be the counterparts that ran from you, ran from them themselves, ran from spiritual awakening, ran from spirit, ran from source, ran from dark night of the soul. These are going to be these masters. They have not come into this timeline. And again, I'm on this journey with you, so I really don't know what that means. But here's what I do know. I know it's not over. There's no such thing. Shaylee is on paid list before free reading list. She would like soulmate instead of twin flame. Okay, so all you have to do is think of your person, Shaylee. Think of your person. I just pull the energies that are connected to you. I do not tell spirit what to do. I don't know if that's like going to be part of my journey where somewhere down the line I'm going to be telling God and God's going to listen to me, but I just don't really see that kind of happening. I feel like it's always going to be God telling me what to do. So, I mean, I try to say, like, hey, she wants to hear about the soulmate, but if the twin comes out, the twin comes out. Definitely darkness is somewhere and been coming out, and I've been lucky one receiving, not so lucky. What I mean, oh, I completely understand. Yeah, I definitely feel like I was not the I mean, I still benefited in those 3 months period, but the masculine definitely came out, I would say, on top, especially like manifestation wise, with what all was produced in that 3 month period of time. I just don't think that's possible, Renee. I'm sorry. I know sometimes people want it to be. They're like, I mean, I know I did. Like when I went to all them people and I was like, hey, cut this freaking cord. You know what I mean? Like I wanted it to be done. But I mean, I just know now, right? It's all these years later. Wow, how interesting. I mean, not a coincidence, Shaylee. Not a coincidence. All right, but we are trying to focus on the soulmate. So you just think of your person, Shaylee, and I'm going to pull out. I'm going to start with your energy first. Let's do your energy first. Then we'll see who comes out with you. All right, so we have overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. You're becoming more confident in your own spiritual abilities. I love that. You're using your spiritual abilities to remove obstacles around you. You may have one particular obstacle that you haven't quite figured out, and it's going to definitely be that sword in the stone story. It's like you don't believe in yourself enough to pull that sword out and remove that obstacle. But the interesting part to me is that I've seen you, like I can watch you in my mind removing all these other obstacles down your path. So it's like this one particular obstacle is here. All right, let's look at the person on your mind, right? Person on your mind, we have mystic healer. So you don't get your soulmate energy, you get your counterpart energy. Again, I can't tell spirit what to do. Healing energy flows through you. So I do feel like this is going to be counterpart energy, and I do feel like they're going through some sort of massive awakening where they're understanding that they have spiritual healing abilities. You also are going to understand that you have mystic spiritual healing abilities, right? All right, let's look at the bridging energy. So we have fogged in, go slow and take time. You're definitely going through some confusion here. You asked about soulmate energy, and the twin energy is coming out really strongly. We are definitely in this period of manifesting soulmates. But guys, I think it's really, really, really important that we know who is who. I think a lot of times we're confusing twin flames for soulmates. I think a lot of times we're confusing soulmates for twin flames. I think a lot of times we're even confusing karmics for soulmates. Yeah. Soulmates are long term, they're not quitters. It's not an energy of someone that just comes in for a few and then drops out. No, no, absolutely not. This is someone who's going to be around you for a long time. Someone who's, um, even when you first meet them, it's like you've known them every day of your life. Like this is energy that just matches you. You know how we always say opposites attract? Soulmates are not opposites. Opposites, by the way, I mean, they do attract, but can you go long term? I don't know about all that. Soulmates are mutual. It's a meeting together, meeting of the mind, right? Like-minded energy. I water you, you water me, we grow together. Go slow, take time. There's confusion as to who's who and who's supposed to be doing what. On the bottom is that first light card that we've seen with the collective reading. All right, I'm going to do it same way. I'm going to pull out head, heart, higher self for masculine, and I'm going to use the sacred destiny. Oh, I didn't even... There we go. Sorry, I'm going to change it over. Renee says, sorry, I don't know how to work this iPad keyboard, but I don't know how to work none of these buttons. I can't believe I've gotten 2 years on YouTube with no major catastrophes. All right. Ooh, we almost played the 52 card pickup. All right, so fulfillment is coming out headspace. So your person is that. Oh, is that your person? Let's see. Do you feel like you are in more of your fight and protect energy? Do you feel like everything's coming at you? Shaylee, tell me, do you feel like you're having to implement the spiritual lessons that you've learned, like um, quickly? It's like it's almost like, it's one thing being thrown at you at another, and you're like, oh, I can handle this because I've learned this. Oh, I can handle that because I've learned this. But then it could feel like you're juggling too many, and you may have this feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going to drop this. Yes, the whole world is against me. Okay, you are definitely in your strong masculine energy. And I said that I've been fighting it. Like I want to be in my feminine energy. I feel like right now we're being asked to be more nurturing, be more compassionate, more empathetic. We're being asked to be more nurse, healing, right? Like fixing, healing, maybe. Um, and it's most likely because the counterpart is having this mass awakening and having all the purging of the toxicities, right? Like the karmic toxicities. And so most likely that's why we're in this fight and protect, because right now it's almost like the masculine energy is down. Almost like, I don't know, this energy of like we're having to remember masculine energy fights and protect, and feminine energy is nurture and caretaker. And Renee, for you specifically, it's almost like you're having to stand up and fight and protect your purpose, your journey. This isn't going to be about the person. You may be fighting and protecting this person, but I don't think so. This is going to be about the purpose. And oh, I know what it is. So you're wanting to get rid of the person. I mean, I don't know. I may have said that in a mean way. You're wanting to detach from the person, right? So that you can manifest and be in soulmate energy. But because you're doing that, your soul is causing you to move into masculine energy where you're protecting the purpose. So it's interesting because it's like your feminine energy is saying, I don't want this anymore. I'm tired of this. It's exhausting. And your masculine energy is like, well, it is what it is. Right? Like it's that type of, going on there. Pretty interesting. All right, so let's stick with your side. So wisdom is coming in the heart space. You could be having heart chakra awakening. The wisdom card talks about surrender, and it says that when you surrender, you kind of open yourself up to receive new information. If we think we know everything and we want it our way, we're not open to receive new information because it goes against what our way is, right? So when wisdom comes in, it's because you've surrendered. You've said, okay, maybe my way wasn't the way, so please let me know what it is. I surrender, and now you're able to receive this new information, and that could be definitely coming through the heart chakra. Flow is coming out for your higher self. I feel like right now the higher self could be guiding you so that you can get into this energy of being in the flow. All right, let's look at your person. What is going on over here with Mystic Healer? Healing energy flows through you. I do feel like they've learned twin flame. They've learned spiritual awakening. They've learned healing powers, healing abilities, manifestation. The hands are sticking out to me. All right, so we have healing chaos coming out in the headspace. So again, learned about the healing, right? They've learned they have this healing power, this healing ability. Look at this in the heart space, wanders. So again, I know you asked about soulmate, but this is very strongly counterpart energy. Your soulmate wouldn't have. I'm not saying your soulmate could be awakened. They could be a woke person too. They could be. They could even be a twin flame. They could have their own twin flame, right? But they don't know the miracles that you know. Right? They don't know the miracles that you and your counterpart know. Only you have those miracles. For example, me and my counterpart, there's certain things that happen in our journey that I know doesn't happen in your guys' journeys because you guys have never mentioned it to me. So you see what I'm saying? I also know there's things that happen in your guys' journey that never has happened in my journey, right? And it's because it's our own thing. It's our own miracles, our own wonders, our own abilities is what it is. It's our abilities in union. So my ability with my counterpart in union is going to be different than Shaylee, your ability with your counterpart in union. Do you see what I mean? So there's definitely this energy of like you, like there's shock and awe type of feeling with this person. And then we have solitude. So this person is very withdrawn. This person has pulled away from everyone. This is normal when this happens to spiritual people having spiritual awakening. They you tend to lose friends, lose jobs, even maybe move, relocate, find themselves out, living off grid and all this type of stuff. Right? It's definitely a time of solitude for this person. So I do kind of apologize. I do feel like you asked about a certain person and you got a specific message about your counterpart. All right, so I'm going to pull messages next. Detox. Yes, that's a good word. All right, I'm going to start. Let's do you to them first. You taught me that I have purpose. So, in other words, this person came into your environment and you realized that you were having a spiritual awakening. You met them for a reason. There's something you're supposed to do with that. Your eyes haunt me. It makes me wonder. You say something about cord cutting earlier. I think I seen something, Shaylee, you said about cord cutting. Um, you see their eyes when your eyes are closed, right? Um, Again, I'm in this boat with you, so I don't really know what would be like the advice there. Like I don't know. I just got to where I worked with the energy instead of against it. Um, they don't haunt me anymore. Now it's more of a comfort. It's more of a um, I almost want to say like a safety net. All right, remember this is you to them. I will always have hope. That's a strong one for our collective energy. I always dream about you. Shaylee, have you recently had a dream? Did you say that you recently had contact? Before the contact, did you have a dream? There's a lot of people telling me that they're dreaming about their person, and then contact after long times of separation comes after the dream. So it's almost like the dream is like a premonition. We have come too far to turn around now. All right. So these are going to be from them to you. I need you to stay. Your person feels you pulling your energy away. Whenever we start to get to where in this manifestation of soulmate energy, she says, I dreamed about my soulmate. Ooh, how interesting. But whenever we get into these energies where we're manifesting soulmate, the person, the counterpart, the person that catapulted your spiritual awakening, if you have a 3D counterpart here, they feel you pulling their energies away. A lot of times they go into dark night of the soul as you move into manifestation of soulmate and sometimes the forever soulmate, right? And everything is going to be okay. It's going to be the last one. Not true. Say what you mean. Also wanted to come out. Say what you mean. So I do feel like your person could feel like you're the one that is maybe. blocking, running, hiding, that type of thing. And I do feel it's because they're in that feminine energy. All right, I'm going to pull Power of Love to close it out. And I'll go back and we'll see where we are. Thank you guys so very much for participating. I appreciate you guys so very much. Right, Shaylee, guidance. You have satisfaction. You let the energy of love guide you to self approval so that others no longer define who you are. That's what you've done. That's why you're manifesting soulmate energy. But I'm also getting the energy with this too. Like, don't allow this. You need to see this journey as a benefit to who you are as a soul, and not as something that's going to hinder you or pull you down. It's actually giving you a boost, right? Did you know, Shaylee, that there's some people that live their whole life, and never see a spiritual sign, never see any have any type of spiritual awakening. They're just here. Their life just happens to them. Most of them are very unhappy and miserable, and then they just die, and that's it. Like that happens. I know, right? We're like, what? I thought everyone had to go through this. No, no, not everyone gets to have a spiritual awakening. Now, I will say this: the world is like having mass spiritual awakening. So there is way more people having spiritual awakening than ever before. Virtue is also here. It says you acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. And that's what we're doing, right? Last one, kindness. You are humanitarian, made of love, and you're able to share that energy with others. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Shaylee. I hope that was helpful. All right, guys, let me know where we are at. Miss Al, are we at the free last? Thank you, Shaylee. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Shaylee. All right, Miss Al, here we go. Miss Al, Pooja, Gina, and Diana. All right, Miss Al, I'm going to start with masculine energy first. Masculine energy first, please. You have 10 of Wands, a lot of heavy burdens on your shoulders, having to carry a lot of weight. I just heard having to carry the weight for two. Feminine energy, we have 6 of Swords coming out. So you're being guided, being shown where to go. I always see the choppy waters, but I'm almost seeing like there's something in the water. There's initials on here, Miss Al. CM. I've never noticed those initials. I've had the Gilded Zero for like 2 years. Never once. Oh, interesting. I think murky waters. You're being guided through a murky situation. There could be like energies around you messing out. I feel like you know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know because you teach me how to protect my energies. So I feel like you are highly protected. All the swords are around her, but I feel like you're being guided. Spirit's showing you how to maneuver, how to move through, how to navigate through this murky water. All right, so 10 of Wands, the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the signs are sticking out. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and then bridging energy. We have Queen of Wands. So both your masculine and your feminine energies are having to learn to be confident in themselves. And it's not just about having confidence, but it's also about showing kindness and I almost said compassion, but it's more you know how King of Swords is understanding what you're capable of? Well, the Queen of Wands, it's like she knows what she's capable of. The King of Wands, it's like he has to understand it. The Queen of Wands, it's like she has a knowing of it. But there's something about kindness here, Miss L, that's sticking out to me. And I just want to say, I talked about this energy at the beginning because I feel like a lot of us are this turn the cheek type of person. We're the type of person that we take a lot from people. We take a lot and we forgive a lot. Miss L, this is the energy of fighting with fury. And I do feel like that's the energy that I'm getting with that Queen of Wands. Yes, it's okay for us to be kind and compassionate, but we have to also fight with the fury. It's like you have to have both. It can't just be just one. And that is going to be the bridging energy. All right. I hope that was helpful. Yes, kindness is mistaken for weakness. So true, Miss L. So true. All right. So next is going to be Pooja. Pooja, let me know that you're still here. And then I had Jenna, and Diana. Thank you, Miss L. I always love reading for you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Pooja said she is here. Let's do current energy. Current energy. All right. Did you get a reading like Miss L says? Please tap that like button for me. All right, Pooja, let me click on your button before I go pulling the cards out. All right, so we have the Hierophant. You're dealing with a Taurus. And we have Queen of Wands coming back out, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But I think that's more your energy, and it's again going to be about be confident, be kind, but be confident. A lot of times, I don't know if I should talk about this or not. Um, I'm going to. Okay, so oh goodness. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so I had a friend who has a daughter who had a sleepover, and at the sleepover, some of the it was a little girl sleepover, right? Some of the young ladies were a little mean, or maybe a little bullying, or maybe that type of energy, right? And my friend's daughter was upset and very emotional, and I mean, of course, understandably so, right? But I told her, I was like, "Do you, when you're around me, and you see people be mean to me or bully me, what do I do?" You know, I asked her, I said, you know, do I just lay down and cry, or do I stand up for myself? And she's seen me stand up for myself several times. So, you know, she knew that I was saying like we have to stand up for ourselves. That doesn't mean we go around punching people and beating people up and being bullies ourselves, but we're done taking it. This knowledge that people who are spiritually awakened or loving or kind or compassionate or coming from unconditional love are weak is done. It's done. We are more powerful than anyone knows, and we're about to show how powerful we are because we're done taking it. This Aries moving into the North Node, moving into Aries, it's going to give us all this fight with a fury type of energy, Pooja. All right, let's look at your bridging energy. Your bridging energy. So you have Five of Swords. So there could be some miscommunication. It's funny because we're not in Mercury retrograde, I don't believe, but I definitely just got that type of Mercury retrograde energy. There could be some miscommunication or some disagreement. So make sure that the cards say what you mean is sticking out to me, Pooja. Like make sure that you're being very direct and very specific in your communications. And also, too, if you're struggling to understand something, because remember, swords are clarity, our mind, the way we process information. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that was helpful. Being courageous with humbleness. I love it. Yes, who does? All right, Jenna, it's your turn, Jenna. Hi, Jean. Thank you, Pooja. Yeah, Jenna. All right. So Ace of Swords again today. New communication, Jenna. This is your person thinking about new communication. Nine of Wands. You've been manifesting it. Jenna, have you been manifesting new communication with your person? How interesting. Nine of Cups is divine wishes being granted. I feel like you've been in gratitude. And because you've been in gratitude, you saw things that may have come at you. Okay, so for me, I've been talking about alchemy. And I talked about how I met this person and had this awakening. It shook my whole foundation. My foundation crumbled. I got divorced. My friends, family, job, everything just went off like a bomb, right? And by the way, that's spiritual awakening for those of you that don't know. But when this all happened, like, um, I turned everything into PLR. So I turned my spiritual awakening, my bombs going off, into my purpose, like into what I'm doing today. That is the, I mean, greatest way you can alchemize this twin journey, I think, possible. And I think you've done the same thing. And because you've been able to do that, because you've been able to find the most positive thing and the most challenging thing that you've gone through, it's like these divine wishes are being granted. How interesting. All right. And then bridging energy is going to be the Six of Swords. Again, you're going to be seeing all those signs from spirit. And I just heard 1111. So, Jenna, you're probably seeing 1111 or at least hearing it everywhere. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that's helpful. I just want to show you, though, today, new communication being guided in your direction due to your manifestation. All right, Diana, that makes you next. Diana and Jean. Yes, Jean, absolutely. Let's go ahead and close that list after Jean. Let me grab that banner. And thank you guys so much for participating. I appreciate you guys so very, very much. All right. Etsy shop. I know several of you guys in here have Etsy shop readings. Those will be going out in the morning, so make sure to check your emails. I do have that new listing, the North Node in Aries listing, guys. I definitely recommend checking that out. You are a twin flame on the coupon, and on the coupon, on the journey, and need a coupon, because if you're on this journey, you most likely will need a coupon. Just let me know. Reach out to me, and I will gladly send one. Right, Diana. Here we go. Now we know who we're talking to and who is next. Jean, you're going to be next. It was very positive, Jenna. Very. It's that Ace of Swords. I'm telling you. 11 people on YouTube. I love it. 13811. Look at that. All right. Jean is here. Okay, so this is going to be Diana. Here we go, Diana. I'm going to do masculine energy first. Masculine energy first, please. Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius energy, Jupiter energy, things starting to move, things starting to bend in your favor. This hasn't happened yet. Uh, Okay, Two of Wands coming out for feminine energy. There's an important decision to be made here. The important decision, Diana, is like love or money. I know that sounds crazy, but that's definitely like what I just heard. Do you want where do you want to put your focus? Where's your intent? Um, and I'm also hearing like, why can't I have both? That type of energy. But Wheel of Fortune over here, there's something in this masculine energy here that has not come. Okay, so you know how I always talk about like the cycle closing out, and I say, oh, at the bottom of the cycle, like at the bottom of the circle, it doesn't come to a closure right away because spirit's down that line trying to get all this stuff maneuvered and together so that when it does close out and get moving and you get down that further, down your journey, the soul's path, then whatever that thing is that spirit was getting together is ready for you, right? That's the energy that I'm getting with the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so let's look at bridging energy. Bridging energy, we have the Hanged Man. There is a sacrifice. There is definitely a sacrifice. See the money coming out? And the Hanged Man does mean sacrifice. This doesn't mean that it's true, Diana. It just could mean that this is how you feel. Like you're feeling that you're having to give these things up. The Hanged Man actually means that you're stuck in your head. Not every picture of the Hanged Man is coins falling out of his pocket. And this particular gilded tarot, Diana, the coins are falling out of his pocket, but it's because you have this thought or this notion that it has to be one or the other. Remember how I always say that the Two of Wands for me since day one has been expectations. It's like you expect it to be this one way, and it doesn't have to be this way. So if you feel like you are, I've been saying this a lot, Diana, because it works for me so easily. I think it's just because I've been doing it so much. Remember, guys, practice makes perfect. But I've been visualizing the energy of the thoughts in my head, right? When I'm having these thoughts and I'm stuck in my head, and I'm having like obsessive thinking and I'm not really solving any problems, I will visualize moving that energy down my brow chakra, down my throat chakra, and into my heart chakra, and then I will stay right there. Stay in your heart chakra because you can manifest, like you said here, why can't I have both? You can have both, but you can only have both from the heart chakra. You can only have one from the crown or the brow chakra. If you're trying to manifest up here in your headspace, by the way, it's not from your crown, but if you're trying to manifest like from third eye, you're trying to visualize this type of thing, that's going to be a lot slower. You're going to run across a lot more like ego minded energies that are going to get in your way. You have to manifest from the heart chakra. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that was helpful. Let come what comes. So true. So true. All right. Dean's turn. And then I'm wrapping it up, guys. Again, thank you so much for coming in here and hanging out with me. Don't forget, guys, we are now split from Twitch. So Twitch is Monday night. I will be over on Monday night doing some free readings. Come over and join us. I will be back on YouTube and Facebook on Tuesday. But yeah, if you guys haven't joined us over on Twitch yet, several of you have. So for those of you that haven't, you're definitely missing out. Come over, sign up, join us. Several of you guys are completely new to Twitch. I was so proud of you guys. All right, Jean, we have Justice coming out. Strong Libra energy and your masculine, and Ace of Pentacles and your feminine. For the feminine energy, this could be about a new resource. And again, that could be anything. Pentacles, remember, don't always have to be money. But it could be new job, new career, new start in something. It could also be like new home, new car, new relationship. Remember, pentacles don't always just mean money. But there's definitely this energy of you're on the brink of this newness. You feel it. You may even be starting to see it. However, over here, this energy, and I do feel like you're able to be in your feminine energy because you sense this new thing. Most likely, you're really far along in your spiritual awakening and you have a lot of confidence in the lessons that you've learned. And you have a lot of confidence in yourself in being able to implement those lessons. And that's how come you're able to see this new energy coming in. The Justice card over here, this person is having a hard time keeping the scales balanced, but they're definitely in the process of understanding that the calm energy is where they need to be. All right, and then bridging energy, we have the magician. Definitely as within, as so without, as above, so below. It is the energy of manifestation. I'm definitely seeing the infinity sign. I feel like both of you could be manifesting new beginning, new start. All right, Jean, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that reading was helpful. Guys, again, thank you so very much. Singer says, Twitch is a blast. Happy Friday. Yes, thank you, Jean. Jean says, it's money. I love it. It's money. Pinnacles. Yeah, for most of us here at PLR, it's actual finances, like actual cash. She said, he's a disaster right now and having surgery next week. Ooh, we will send unconditional love that way. All right, guys. I will see you guys all very soon. If I don't see you Monday on Twitch, I'll see you here Tuesday night, 7 p.m. More free readings, and we will do the astrology report. Thank you guys for coming in and participating. I'm always, always, always sending all of you abundant love and light on your journey. Thank you.